Good morning, guys. Tommy here. Want to do an update for you guys on the status of the crypto market as things are heating up, which is great to see, right? So let's take a quick zoom in and see what's going on. First thing here, I've got a chart of BTC, and as I'm sure you guys can all feel, it's lovely feeling that positive effect here coming into crypto. You know, BTC being the granddaddy of crypto. All ships rise with rising waters, however you say that, you know. So that happening with BTC is great to see for the market as a whole. Obviously, Ethereum's feeling the positive effects too, but Ethereum, I think, is positioned for some massive moves. There's a couple things I want to talk about in this video. I'm going to jump into it, but I'll get into that. Let's look at where crypto's positioned, and then I'll explain my concern. So I'll go through these charts here. You guys know I'm doing these regression charts. The regression charts are like my go-to for where the market is really at in terms of overvaluation or undervaluation. These are similar to the Plan B charts you guys have seen, but I actually think these are better than the rainbow charts. It's logarithmic regression. A lot of those don't take into account logs. Some do, some don't. Some of those rainbow charts don't, but anyway, these ones definitely do, and that's how I look at it. Basically, we're looking at a slowing rate of growth, right, for all crypto, really, and especially for Bitcoin and whatnot. And that's kind of what I expect is, on average every year, the amount of money coming increases, but the rate of growth gradually slows down on a logarithmic scale. So anyway, look where we are in the total valuations. Our trend is at 1.6 trillion market cap. Current market cap of crypto 725 billion. So a bit undervalued there. And I've updated these charts too to say the growth rate per year. So based off this logarithmic regression model, the growth rate is 61% per year. It's pretty good. Here we have the percent deviation. This just shows you, again, if it's overvalued or undervalued. This is negative 57%, just like the last, according to these numbers here. And you can kind of see we're near kind of bottoms of where we've historically been. So this would be typically a buy opportunity, most certainly. Time deviation is something I created, basically measuring, because the rate of growth slows down every month, month by month, right? So we want to see how many months undervalued or overvalued are we? And here we are near historic lows on the total market cap. So, again, buy signal, or, this is near the bottom, right? You want to buy when things are cheap. Altcoin market cap is super depressed. Look at this. The market cap's at 404 billion. The trend is at 1.5 trillion. So altcoins are extremely undervalued. We can see that here again, quite low. Check out the time deviation. Yeah, here it should show it really clearly. This is the most undervalued altcoins have ever been historically, on a time deviation chart. That's it's very interesting there, huh? Moving on here to Ethereum. Ethereum is also pretty criminally undervalued. We've got this is as of the update a few days ago. I get these done every week or two. The price was $15.50 at the time. It's currently $16.50, but the fair value I have here is $5,600. That's where it would be if it was at a fair value in this log regression model. Note that Ethereum is still growing at nearly 100% a year, so pretty impressive. Now this red line is the current projection, and the orange line shows where it was at that point in history. So you can see Ethereum is pretty close to following that line. It was still a bit overestimating here back in summer 2021 when that whole surge was going on. So the line's kind of come down a little bit, but let me show you the Bitcoin one, which is coming up here in a second. You can see how it kind of stabilizes over time. Here we go, the percent deviation, again, just pretty criminally undervalued for ETH. And look at this time deviation. ETH was the most undervalued it's ever been in history, just this past holiday season around Christmas. And then when it is that undervalued, expect it to have these sorts of moves, right? Which we saw, just massive surge. So let's move on to Bitcoin. Here's the main log regression chart. Fair value 3,500, price 2,200. So you can see like ETH was way different, right? ETH was 1,500 versus 5,600. So ETH was like almost 4 times undervalued. So Bitcoin, as you can see here, you can see the rate of growth is slowing down 44% per year. So slower rate of growth in Bitcoin than Ethereum, as we should expect, right? And as we know, most of the technology is being built on Ethereum, of course, but Bitcoin is the first. It does carry a strength for that. And then here's the regression, the logarithmic regression line difference. So I'm struggling with my words here. This is the percent. It's below the trend line. Again, near historic lows. And then again, keep in mind, things are tightening up for Bitcoin. You see the time deviation here. This is insane. So Bitcoin was on a time deviation chart, the most undervalued it's ever been. And again, you see the explosive growth potential. So I'm going to go back to altcoins because that was super interesting. Altcoins and Ethereum both, I think, present a tremendous opportunity. Ethereum especially. And as an extension of that, I'd say, good NFTs. NFTs almost function like options on Ethereum, especially something like in the Bored Apes or your blue chip category there. So Mutant Apes are currently, 15 to 20 ETH in that range. Bored Apes, I believe, are around 70 ETH. But anyway, regardless of which, if you want a safe bet, ETH is, the vast majority of stuff being built today is being built on ETH. ETH is a safe bet. So that being said, you guys, I want to say something else on this video. This is a unique environment that we're in, and this is actually my biggest concern besides all this. So if it wasn't for this, I would say, you better be just stacking up crypto like mad right now, which I still think it's a good time to pick some up. It's a good time to buy. I mean, all things considered. But what I want you guys to be aware of is the economy, the world economy is still not in a great situation. And actually, this is the 10-year minus the 3-month Treasury yield curve. And these inversions, when a yield curve's inverted, it's a warning sign for a recession, basically. Excuse me. And sorry, a bit congested. Anyway, it's a warning sign for a recession. You can see what happened here, 2006, 2007, before the 2008 crash. This was in the NASDAQ bubble, basically. And this was pretty close to when I was born, so I didn't experience that one. But there's more before this, too, that this chart doesn't show, sadly. But anyway, the point of it is look how inverted this is. This is a massive negative 1.21 is a massive inversion. And typically when it comes down, what usually the way it uninverts is they're dropping short-term interest rates, right? The Fed would be cutting rates, right? Because of a bad situation, bad economy, they'd be cutting rates, and that would make the yield curve uninvert, and then the crash would come after that. But we're in an interesting environment because the Fed is not cutting rates. They're actually still increasing rates. So it just kind of makes you think, I don't think stuff is resolved in traditional markets, and I think this could still result in some sort of crash, or I don't know. This is a very unique situation in the market that, even people who've been in the market 50 years never seen something like this, or, very few times does it go like this. So we don't really, it's hard to say what happens in the market. But bringing that back to crypto, if crypto is bullish right now, I don't know how, maybe that game goes on for another year or maybe years, who knows? But meanwhile, the point is crypto is heating up, so if you guys are waiting on the sidelines, it's not financial advice, but might be a good consideration for you to think about, and otherwise, keep your eye on it. But I'm personally super happy to see crypto heating up. I mean, it's been a pretty, the interesting thing about this cycle was this actually shows it pretty well. This chart right here. Let's see if we can find something even better. So check this chart out. We weren't that overvalued in this past cycle. Like, look what happened in 2017 here. Extremely overvalued. Of course, then it was hard to tell too because the regression line hadn't evened out yet. But we could feel how overvalued it was then. But this past time in 2021, I mean, ETH went from, it went up to, what were we at, 4,000 or 5,000? It wasn't like that much higher than the last peak of the last cycle. Last peak of the last cycle was 1,500. 1,500 to 4,500 does not reflect the sorts of surges we saw in Ethereum before that, right? For those of you guys who've been in Ethereum since the beginning, ICO is 50 cents. I bought a bunch here at $1 right here before it took off. Here from $1 to $10, and then $10 to $100, $150 here, $150 to $1,000. I mean, look at how fast that happened, right? Between January 2016 to basically January 2018, 2 years, we went from $1,000 to $1,500. And so given that context, now it's been, several more years since that, here's 2 years, 4 years, went through this bear market. This place we got to in 2021 did not feel as equivalent, or on the same level as we saw back in 2017. Of course, things should calm down over time. But the point I'm making is we didn't go that high, and now we're down to kind of back to these kind of modest lows. Look how much crypto's grown between 2018 and now, and Ethereum especially. There's been so much growth. So I think the bottom line is Ethereum is undervalued. And when Ethereum properly gets a surge, we can see it go past, I would say $10,000-$20,000 level would be like levels that I'd say, okay, now Ethereum is, overvalued again. But that's kind of what I'm looking for in the next surge, Ethereum getting to that 10,000-20,000 level. Now, of course, is it going to be a soft surge like last time, and then maybe the global economy falls apart and punishes it again? I don't know. We don't know how the future is going to play out, but just know that we are undervalued. Anyway, I don't want to make this video too long. Hope you guys liked it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know if you guys like this sort of stuff. This is one of the big things I keep my eye on, and I thought you guys would like that as well. So let me know if you do. Let me know any thoughts you have, recommendations, ideas to improve, that sort of stuff. But yeah. This is Tommy here. Thanks for watching, and catch you on the next one.